Good morning. Welcome back to my next class. How are you all? I know you are all fine and safe at home. Okay? So, have you read the lesson? And I told you to write some answers and told you to send me the same answers to my personal mobile. You have all done it. Very good. Keep it up. So let's continue the lesson. Okay, all of you take your textbook and look at the textbook. So we know the boy who took a strong decision to go and see the river, and we know he got a golden opportunity. How did he get that golden opportunity? Yes, his parents went to visit their family members who were far away from their village. So he was alone. So he took a decision to go and see that river and come back before his parents had come. Okay, then he took a loaf of bread and started his journey. On the way, whom did he meet? Yes, he met a woodcutter. Then he asked how far the river was. Then he said it was 7 miles away. Then he resumed his journey. Then okay. The path was steep and the boy had to run most of the time. The path was steep. Steep means a slope, a deep slope. So what? He wanted to walk, but when we go this type of a path, can we walk very normally? No, it is not possible. Automatically we will run. So the same way this boy had to run most of the time, and it was a dizzy. Dizzy means liable to falling. Such a place means there is a chance for falling. Then it was a winding path. Winding path. This like going path, winding. And he slipped once or twice. That path was steep and it was dizzy. This means there was a chance for falling. So once or twice he fell, but he did not stop. The hill was covered with lush green ferns. So that hill was covered with what? Lush green ferns. Lush means growing thickly. So thickly growing ferns. Ferns means numerous seedless and flowerless plant is called ferns. So that ferns were there on that hill. Trees were wound in creepers. The trees on that hill, they were wounded with what? Wounded with the creepers. Small creepers will be growing on the top of on the bark of the tree. So those creepers were there, and a great wild dahlia suddenly reared its golden head from the leaves and ferns. On the way, what was there? There was a wild dahlia. Wild dahlia reared means rose up like what? Its golden head. Its flower is like a gold color. So it was a beautiful sight. So our Ruskin Pond, who is very clearly explaining that beauty of that nature. Okay. Then soon the boy was in the valley. Valley means plain, and the path straightened. So now he is in the valley. Valley means it is flat. So now the road is also flattened and then again rose.
he met a girl who was coming from the opposite direction. From there on the valley, he saw whom? A girl. She was coming from opposite direction. She held a long curved knife with which she had been cutting grass. What was there in her hand? There was a long curved knife for what? For cutting grass. So it was there with her. The bangles, you know, girls know bangles. The bangles she wore made music when she moved her hands, and it was as though the hands spoke a language of their own. So this girl was wearing bangles, and whenever she moved her hands, you know what happened? That made a noise. So that more voice is combined with a language. So whenever she moved her hands, it made a sound. It is combined with a language of that hand. Then after seeing that girl, this boy asked one question: how far is it to the river? Asked the boy. The girl had obviously never been to the river, or she may have been thinking of another one, because she said 20 miles without any hesitation. When the boy asked how far the river was, the girl's reply was what? 20 miles. As you know, that woodcutter said it was only 7 miles. But now, and after that, he walked a long distance. Then still he has to walk 20 miles according to whom? That girl. So can we say, is it right? Is it right? No, it is not right. So what? So what was the reason? Because she must have thought about another river. That's why she said. This boy talking about one river, and the girl is talking about another river. That may be the reason. So without any hesitation, she said like that. Then the boy laughed. Our boy is not a fool. So then what? He did not say much, nothing to that girl. He just laughed and ran down the path. A parrot suddenly screeched. Parrot, you know, parrot. It suddenly screeched. Screeched means what? Made a low voice and flew low over his head. A flash of red and green. When the parrot flew over his head, he just looked up. Then he saw what? A flash of red and green. And that is what the color of whom? That is what color of a parrot. Okay. Then the bird disappeared. The bird disappeared amongst the trees. So how many trees were there? Then that bird means our parrot. That parrot disappeared. Then the boy was walking. The boy continued his walking. Then a trickle of water came from the hillside, and the boy stopped to drink. A trickle of water. What is meant by a trickle? Trickle means flowing in drips. Flowing, that water flowing in drips. And it was coming from where? From the hillside. And the boy stopped because he walked a long distance. So what? So he stopped. Then the water was cold and sharp, but very refreshing. That pure water was coming from where? Coming from the hill, and it was very cold and sharp. Then after drinking that water, he felt refreshing. However, it seemed to have the effect of making him more thirsty. If we drink pure water, that water will make us more thirsty. So after drinking that water, he wanted to drink again. The sun was striking his side of the hill, and the dusty path became hotter. Now you know, 11 o'clock, After 11 o'clock, he started from his home. Now it may be 12 o'clock. So the sun is sun is striking his side over of the hills and the dusty path. It is not a rainy season. It is on a summer season. So dust is there. The stones scorching the boy's feet. The stones, because of the sunlight, the stones were what? Very hot. So when he touched his bare foot on the stone, what happened? It scorched his feet. He was sure he had gone halfway. At that moment, he was sure. Why? He had walked for over an hour. Now he walked over an hour. So the woodcutter said he would take 3 hours to reach there. So now he walked more than 1 hour, means nearly 1.5 hours. So from that he understood he walked, or he covered half of the distance to that river. So that is what the boy thought. So here we can stop this class. So you have got an idea about this boy's journey. His that way. How was that way? Whom did he meet? And all you have to read, and also you have to find out the side question answers. The main side question is what? The boy was really thirsty. What made the boy thirsty? That's the main question. I told you the water in that from that hill, that trickle of water, it was cold and sharp, and also it was refreshing. That's why that made him more thirsty. Okay. Then the hands spoke a language of their own. What does the expression mean? That is also we discussed it. So the movement of that girl's hand, we said that made that was a language of that bangle. So that is also you have to study. So read this lesson very carefully, then find out the answers and send to me. Okay, thank you.